What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with yet another what to buy on eBay video. We've got a pretty good assortment of vintage Kenner items, vintage collection, trading cards, CGC 9.8 comics. I just wanted to talk about a number of different things, but before I do that, I want to say thank you to my latest Patreon supporter, and that is DefTech Solutions. That's the company name. He wanted to remain anonymous, but I know this person, and I really appreciate you becoming a Patreon. All of my Patreon supporters get 24 hours early access to my videos. If you're interested in becoming a Patreon supporter, it's patreon.com/actionfiguregrader. But thanks so much for all of the channel support. It really means a lot to me. Let's take a look at a number of different items. The first one I wanted to talk about is this one I'm kind of iffy on. But it's a mint and sealed box Tauntaun from the Empire Strikes Back line. It's graded AFA 75. But I think, honestly, it presents worse than a 75 because of this ding right here. It's got a big ding on the front of the box, as you can see in the zoom. But it is graded 75, and again, I think that it presents a little bit less nice than a 75 normally would. It's got a little bit of wear up there in the upper left-hand corner, but these are very expensive. They are very expensive items, especially mint and sealed box. Even ungraded, they can go for close to this price. And it's listed right now for $999.99. It's got 11 watchers on it. I expect it to sell, but just keep in mind, with all of these items, really, keep in mind that you need to zoom in on these items. I tried to, vet them as best I could, but, make sure that it's a legitimate seller, that it's a seller you can trust to ship the item correctly. The rest of the box is so clean. It's such a shame that it's got that big ding right there on the front of the box, as you can see. So anyway, $999, $20 shipping is the list price on that. Maybe you watch it and maybe it makes an offer if nobody has bought it before then. I've got some wax packs, to span the budgets here of everyone who's watching. I've got some inexpensive wax packs. This is Series 2 Return of the Jedi cards, trading cards, and these were from 1983. And this seller has a bunch of them available, as you can see, and they're all factory sealed. And here's the backs of them and what they look like. The gum is inside, in case you want to chew it. If you're really looking to go to the dentist, open one of these up and try to chew some of this 40-year-old gum, and let me know how it works out for you. I imagine it probably wouldn't go well, but they're $14.99 each with $4.65 shipping. It's got 6 watchers on it right now. The packs look really clean, but that's a nice inexpensive way to collect some vintage trading cards, is to get some of these factory sealed wax packs and open them up and see what's inside. So pretty cool to see those for sale, and pretty budget friendly for those of you looking to save money right now. Here is a UKG 90% Max Rebo band. That's a very, very high grade. Presents very nicely, as you can see there, all the accessories and everything. It's even got Cy Snoodle's flute in his hand. But a beautiful item. Now, this is listed by Geronimo, and he is a Facebook seller. So the price right now on eBay is 599 Great British pounds, which is about 684 US dollars. Now, this price, as it is a pretty decent price for a UKG 90%. I see them sell for that pretty regularly, and there's 27 watchers on this. But if you go to the Facebook page for Geronimo Toys and send him a private message and say, hey, I'd like to pay goods and services, but do it away from eBay, that'll knock off about 10% or so. So that's a pretty good price, though, for a UKG 90% gold level Max Rebo band, and that looks really nice inside the case there. I mean, ungraded, they're probably $350 to $400 pretty easily. So to get that, off of eBay, but make sure you pay goods and services. Don't do friends and family, because you want to make sure it arrives safe and sound. But especially if you're in the UK, the shipping is not so cost prohibitive, and you don't have to worry about the item getting damaged in shipping. But let's call it about 625 bucks if you bought it directly from Geronimo Toys. And that's a seller I've dealt with in the past. I don't know him personally or anything, but I have bought items from Geronimo Toys on their Facebook page, and it always has really nice graded items on the page. So reach out in case you wanted to get that away from eBay. Next up, I've got the Mandalorian #2. This is the 1:25 ratio variant by Laraka. And these photos are terrible, but it basically shows the Mandalorian, I assume, climbing the Jawa sandcrawler after the Jawas kind of pilfered the Razor Crest. And it's a great cover. This is one I don't have, but right now this seller has one available for, or two, yeah, one available, one is sold for $109.99 plus $10 shipping. That's a pretty decent price. Now, the price could come down a little bit if you wait a month or two. There's going to be a bigger supply of these after more people get them back from CGC. But that's a really nice book. There is also a 1 in 50 ratio variant as well as a 1 in 10 ratio variant. And again, this is the first full comic book appearance of Grogu in comics. So that one is available right now, and one of them has sold, one's still available. Next up, I've got the original issue of VC35 Mace Windu. This is an unpunched card, the US card back, as you can see. And, you know, I did some kind of looks at the card, and it looks really clean overall. It might be just a little bit of wear here and there to it, but a nice unpunched card. Wonderful image of Samuel L. Jackson on the front. And given how old this character is, or this figure is, that's a pretty awesome likeness of Samuel L. Jackson. So, you know, this one obviously has come way down in price just since they've reissued the figure in the Vintage Collection line. Blister looks pretty good overall. But it's listed for $125 plus $10.90 shipping. This was going for over $200 before they announced the reissue. So this one has fallen prey to the same issue that it seems like every single reissue has had, where once the reissue is announced and released, the original issue TVC 1.0 version drops in price. But that's a nice clean version of the unpunched US card for VC 35 Mace Windu. Next up, this is a pretty good deal. This is an AFA 80 Leia Boushh, and this is the Taiwan variant. It seems like the Taiwan variant is the hardest one to find. And again, it's an AFA 80 old case style, but it's listed for $90, free shipping. It's got 9 watchers on it, and that is a great deal. In an AFA 85, for example, you're probably talking closer to double that price, $175 to $190 pretty easily. But that's a pretty great price, and it seems like the no COO with the reddish eyes and the wider face, and then the Hong Kong are really easy to find. But the Taiwan is just a little bit tougher to find. That's the only one I'm missing. I've got the Lily Letty, I've got the Hong Kong, and I got the no COO, but I don't have the Taiwan variant yet. But that's a really nice figure. And again, it's $90 free shipping. That's a pretty good deal for an AFA 80 Leia Boushh. Next up, I've got a UKG 80% R2-D2 sensor scope, but this is the 1977 date stamp, as you see there on the UKG label. This is the brand new case style. And, you know, the reason it got the UKG 80% grade is because it's got a yellowed sticker, and there's also a little bit of wear right below the eye of R2-D2 there. So just keep that in mind. But that one's listed for 135 pounds, but I just received an offer for 128 Great British pounds. If you're in the UK especially, this is probably a good deal because the shipping is not nearly as cost prohibitive as it is for those of us in the US, where we got to pay the global shipping cost of $37. So if you're in the UK and you're looking for a pretty tough to find variant, the 1977 date stamp is tougher to find on this R2-D2 sensor scope. So pretty good deal there for a loose graded R2-D2. Now I wanted to talk about Luke Dagobah Landing, VC44, and this one is for sale at an auction. And I usually don't include auction items, but I wanted to show you guys kind of a comparison here. And so this is the dark blue saber, unpunched, really nice clean card, and it's got 4 days left in the auction, and the starting price is $82 with $5 shipping. Now there's one ending as I make this video with 58 minutes left. There's this one that is unpunched that has the light blue saber, and there's 2 bids on it already for $149.95 plus $11.60 shipping. But this one actually has a small crease, as you can see there, to the right of the hang tab. It's very faint, but there's a crease right up in here that I don't know if the bidders didn't see it or what. So just keep that in mind, is that you got to really zoom in on these photos. But again, I find that the light blue saber is tougher to find on this VC44 Luke Dagobah Landing, but this one is at auction right now with the dark blue saber, and it looks like a much cleaner card back, and the starting price is $82. So, you know, given that the other one is double the price right now and getting ready to end within the hour, you might want to look at this one instead. I think this is a better deal. Next up, I've got the Mandalorian #1, and this is the 1 in 25 ratio variant, the David Aja variant. And again, for every 25 of the standard cover A's, only 1 of these was printed. And this was going for $110, $115, $125. Now, as I talked about, if you're a little bit patient, you can get it for less. And this seller has 2 of them available. There's 6 watchers. It's $99 plus $9 shipping. So that's a really good deal, I think, for the 1-in-25 ratio variant. I actually don't have this one yet. I've got the 1-in-10 and I've got the 1-in-50, but I don't have the 1-in-25 yet. So I would like to pick that one up. It's awfully tempting. I have not bought it yet, but I think that's going to sell because it just got listed and there's already 6 watchers on it. So if you're looking for, you know, a ratio variant for Mandalorian #1, again, that's the first full appearance of the Mandalorian in Interior Comics, as well as the first cameo appearance of Grogu. His first full appearance is in issue #2. But that's a great cover, probably the best cover of all the different ratio variants. I like that one the best, but I still don't have it yet. Next up, I've got a loose graded UKG 85% Chewbacca, but this is the no COO variant. Tougher to find this no COO variant. There's the Taiwan and the Hong Kong and the Lily Letty, and I would put this no COO variant as one of the tougher ones to find. It's listed for 125 pounds. Make an offer, plus the shipping. And again, if you're in the UK, this is probably a better deal for you guys, but 125 pounds for a UKG no COO. So these would appear on like Palatoys and Palatoy Trilogos. It's got the brand new case style from UKG, but that's a really nice loose graded Chewbacca. Next up, I've got a trading card. This is a 1977 Wonder Bread pack-in TIE Advance, Vader's TIE Advance, and it's graded PSA 9, so it's mint grade. And I just love the simplicity of this card. It just screams 1970s to me. And these were packed in loaves of Wonder Bread, and they would be in like a little sealed wrapper, and it got a PSA 9. And this is, again, from 1977. So this is a very high-grade card, and it's listed for $100 plus $4 shipping. That's a pretty good price. Now, maybe in an auction you get it for 80 to 90 bucks. I don't know what the price would be. I couldn't find any good comparables for it, but $100 for a 40-plus-year-old card that was a pack-in inside loaves of bread. I think that's a pretty cool deal there. And it looks really nice inside that PSA case. Next up, I've got a vintage collection Yoda. This is the VC20, the standard Revenge of the Sith card back. The card looks nice and clean. Blister looks nice, and it's unpunched, and it's 70 bucks, 11 watchers on it, free shipping. So that's a pretty good deal. We documented a number of them on the channel that have sold for higher than that price. So I think that's a pretty good price for VC20 Yoda. And again, that one is the US card, I believe. Let's see, the photos do not include the back. There it is. That one is, let's see. Yeah, this is the US card back. So, you know, it's got a little bit of weight to the card, maybe just some slight edge wear, but I think it looks really nice. I think it would straighten out in a star case. And again, it's 70 bucks. That's a pretty unbeatable price for the VC20 Yoda. Next up, I've got a very high-end item, but this is a beautiful 31 back B Leia Bespin gown, clear blister, AFA 80. And it was punched, as you can see there. Let's see here. Yeah, here's the back of the card. And as you can see, it was punched. But it's got a little bit of wear around the hang tab right there. But that is a gorgeous, kind of timeless piece. Beautiful picture of Carrie Fisher on the front of that card back. And there's already 20 watchers on it. It just got listed fairly recently. It is down in Australia, though. So keep that in mind. For my Australian viewers, this is a pretty good buy in my mind. $1,105. There was another one that was listed in the US that sold for $1,100, but that one was unpunched. And I believe it also had the alternate card back image with a closer up shot of Leia. But that's not a terrible price. Maybe you watch it and he gives you an offer for $1,000, who knows. But right now it's listed for $1,650 Australian dollars or $1,105 US dollars plus shipping. Next up, I've got another PSA card. This is a PSA 9 mint grade. Han Aims for Action. And this is from the 1980 Empire Strikes Back line of trading cards. Awesome picture of Han Solo with his DL-44 blaster on the ice planet of Hoth. And this one looks like it's pretty well centered. It might be top to bottom, maybe just miscut slightly. That's one thing to look out for these vintage trading cards, is that the cut can be kind of be off on some of them. And it might present really nicely on the front, and then when you flip it over, the back of the card is not centered. So it's just part of the printing process over at Topps when these were made. But this one's decently cut. It's not perfect, and that's probably why it got the 9 grade instead of the 10 grade from PSA. But $50 free shipping. You can't beat that price. That's a really good price. The same seller also has this one, and it's titled The Snow Walkers, and it really shows the AT-AT walkers during the Battle of Hoth. Just an awesome image on that, and it's also graded PSA 9, and that one also is 50 bucks free shipping. Those are awfully tempting for 1980s trading cards that are graded PSA 9 mint. Next up, I've got an AFA 75 Plus Han Solo Bespin. Beautiful card. This is the 48 back Revenge of the Jedi. Clear blister. Just an awesome, awesome item. And it's unpunched with no price sticker. It's listed right now for $849, and it's got 11 watchers on it. Make an offer on it, and it's $15.75 shipping. That's a pretty decent price, though, for a clear blister 48 back Han Solo Bespin. Next up, I think I know who owns this, but I'm not sure. But this is a Trilogo Bossk. It's got a little bit of color breaking crease right near the hang tab there, but it is unpunched. And let me tell you, folks, the Trilogo Bosks have just gotten insanely expensive. They've really gone up in price. The blister on this one is, or the bubble, is in really good shape. It's got the etched edges, and this is a factory thing. This is not dings. This is how they appeared from the Palitoy factory for some of the card backs, is that little etching that goes on the top and the bottom of the bubble. But how clean is that bubble? This is probably the no COO glossy limbs that's inside. Beautiful figure. I think it would grade probably a 75, and here's a close-up of that crease there, as you can see. That's really the only major flaw, other than on the back. There's a little bit of litho damage in the upper left-hand corner, but it's listed for 625 pounds. It's got 25 watchers already, and it's also make an offer. But that's a beautiful card. A little bit of edge wear, as you can see on the right-hand side, but that's a really, really nice example. And I see them sell for about this price very regularly on Facebook. So that's a gorgeous example for a very hard-to-find Trilogo Palitoy Bossk. Next up, I've got a really expensive Heir to the Empire #1. It's graded CGC 9.8. And this is the first comic book appearance of Grand Admiral Thrawn, who we know is coming to the new Ahsoka series, Mara Jade, as well as Jorah C'baoth. This is an absolutely beautiful, timeless comic book. It's listed right now for $1,200 US. I received an offer from the seller for $1,150. It's got 8 watchers on it. I think it's going to sell. I really do. I picked it up for about this price, if not just slightly below that, about a year ago. But the comic book market is a lot different now than it was a year ago. So just keep that in mind. You might get it for cheaper in an auction, but if you're looking for this book in a CGC 9.8, you could do a lot worse than this price of $11.50. So maybe you watch it or make an offer privately, whatever you want to do. But that is an awesome book, and I don't know what the comic book market's going to do from here, or whether this book goes up after Grand Admiral Thrawn appears in the new Ahsoka series, but this is one of those books that you can just buy and hold forever. It's just awesome. I'm so glad I have it in my collection. Probably the best comic book in my entire collection, to be honest with you. I absolutely love this cover, and I think it's going to do well long term. There it is with Grand Admiral Thrawn. It's just awesome with Luke there. I love this book. So anyway, right now, again, it's listed for $1,200. I received an offer for $11.50, free shipping. That's a pretty good buy. Next up, I've got another vintage collection figure, and that is Dath Dauphine. This is an unpunched US card. It looks really clean. I know that this Frogman doesn't get a lot of love from the vintage collection collectors out there, but it's got the Darth Maul offer, character debut sticker. It's listed for $49.96 free shipping. You can't beat that price. And if you're trying to fill in your collection, this is not a bad one. It's got a little bit of card curl towards the bottom of the card, but that can be straightened out in a star case. VC82, the US card, unpunched. 50 bucks is a pretty good price. Next up, I've got a beautiful, absolutely gorgeous Princess Leia Organa. Now, this is the transition card. And what is that you ask? Well, the first 21 figures appeared on these Empire Strikes Back cards with this free secret Star Wars action figure offer. And it was only the first 21 figures. None of the ESB characters appeared on this card back. And this is an absolutely amazing clear blister Princess Leia unpunched. The only negative is right here on the blister. You can see a little ding. You can see a little ding on that stem. I think it would grade AFA 80 overall, despite that little stem ding, as well as some of the wear in the bottom right-hand corner on the back of the card back. But these transition cards are jumping in price. They're continuing to go up because they were just not printed in or manufactured in big numbers, because they very quickly transitioned over to, I guess, the 31 back offerless ESB cards. So that is a beautiful Princess Leia Organa. It's listed for $1,199 plus $21 shipping. It's got 19 watchers. It just got listed. If you're looking for a beautiful Leia, I wish I was, I would buy this in a heartbeat, because I do think that despite that ding on the stem of the bubble, that it would grade probably an 80. At worst case, it's an AFA 75 plus, but I think it would grade an AFA 80. Finally, we're going to wrap it up with this Trilogo Boba Fett. It's custom encased by UKG. It's loose graded 85%. This is the Spanish light blue Trilogo Boba Fett with the dark brown belt. A gorgeous figure, but what's unique about this is that it was encased with the Trilogo Palitoy card back, and that is a very expensive card back. Mint on card, you're talking probably what, $15,000, $20,000 for this, depending on the grade. This is listed for 1,849 Great British pounds, which is about 2,100 US dollars. It's got 33 watchers on it, and it's make an offer. So if you can live with, a loose graded figure with this card back to kind of fill in the rest of your mint on card Palitoy Trilogo collection, this is the way to do it. It is an absolutely gorgeous item. Obviously very expensive in the current market environment, but wow, what a beauty. And somebody's probably going to pick that up pretty soon with 33 watchers on it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this look at some of the vintage collection, trading cards, comic books that are out there on the market. Happy hunting. I hope you find something that you liked. Again, thank you so much to my Patreon team. You guys get this 24 hours early. I hope that you guys were able to pick something up. Thanks again for watching, and I'll be back soon.